Travel Talk, where our expert magical memory planners discuss ways you can have fun, memorable, and stress-free family vacations. Hi everyone, I am so excited for this episode of Travel Talk because this doesn't happen all the time, but this time we are recording our Travel Talk podcast right from the Disney Wish. I boarded yesterday, we are out at sea today, and I've been exploring this ship, and I'm so excited to share with you some information and talk about the Disney Wish. This is the newest of the Disney ships. This is ship number 5. So there are 4 previous ships, the Magic, the Wonder, the Fantasy, and the Dream, and now we have the Disney Wish. And this ship has really changed. It's a lot different than the other Disney ships, and so I want to share with you basically 5 things about the Disney Wish that are brand new. And I also want to share you a little sneak peek at the very end about the 6th ship that is coming to the Disney fleet called the Disney Treasure. Don't know a lot, but we know a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what we know at the end of the podcast. So first, I want to tell you a little bit about the Disney Wish. So in the first 4 ships that Disney made, they kind of repeated themselves a little bit, kind of gave it that familiar feel. And each ship was like an Art Nouveau and it had that type of style. When they built the Disney Wish, they went with something different. They decided to go with a theme. And so the theme of the Disney Wish is enchantment. And so it's castles and it's the feeling of that magic that comes with a Disney story. And so throughout the ship, there are touches and feels that give that enchantment theme life. And so along that, we see 5 new things that are on the Disney Wish that are brand new to the Disney fleet, and we don't really see these on the other ships. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So the first thing is the Disney staterooms. The staterooms on the Disney Wish, although they are still the bigger staterooms than most other cruise lines for the same category, although they still have the split bathrooms like they have in the past, they put a lot of new features in and give them a whole new look. So one of the things is that the staterooms are very light and bright. They have white linens and light colors that give it like a relaxing and spa feel, which is a new change for the Disney staterooms. They also have a theme to them. So although some of the basics are the same, there are different themes on different decks. So there are themes such as Cinderella, which is the stateroom I'm in, and that is relating to the headboard and some of the artwork in the room. And so we have the Cinderella theme, and we have, I'm going to have to check my list because I don't remember them all yet, but Cinderella and Frozen are on decks 2, 6, and 7. And outside of the stateroom, on the other ships, there was a fish. And people would hang things from their fish, and it was called a fish extender. And what you would hang from your fish would be something with pockets. And other guests on the ship would come by and put gifts in the pockets of your fish extender. Before your cruise, you could join a Facebook group and connect with other people and be in a fish extender group. And so that you would exchange gifts with the people in your group, people you've never met before. And so that's kind of become a tradition on Disney Cruise Line, the fish extenders. So on the Wish, we now have wish extenders. And instead of them all being fish like they are in the other ships, they are different based on the theme in the deck. So decks 2, 6, and 7 have Cinderella and Frozen themed rooms, and the fish extenders are a carriage. And so there's also different carpeting in those hallways with pumpkins and feel of Cinderella and then like Frozen things that match. So they kind of like wove those 2 stories together. Then on decks 8 and 9, there are Princess and the Frog themed rooms as well as Sleeping Beauty rooms. And those rooms all have wish extenders that are owls. And then when you go up to decks 10 and 11, you will see shells as the the wish extenders, and the themes inside the rooms are Moana and Little Mermaid. And when you head up to Concierge, all of those rooms on deck 11 and 12 are Tangled themed. And so outside of their rooms are a sun for their wish extender. There are a few exceptions to that though. When you're up and down those hallways, you'll see a couple of staterooms, there's I think 3 total, that have a crown. Those are those very special suites. So there is a 1 and a 2 story, a 1-story and a 2-story suite, and those are Aurora themed, and they have a crown. So those are some of those special suites up in Concierge. But the rest of them will be Suns for Tangled. And so that's just something that's really cool about the staterooms. They've made other little tweaks. We just found out today that the lights in the cabin can actually dim, so you can turn them on and off, or you can hold down the button and your lights will dim. So if you're doing a nap time in the afternoon or something like that and you want to dim the lights but you need a little bit of light, you can dim the lights in your room. There's also a cooler drawer, which is different than a refrigerator. That's a good place to put things that you want to just kind of keep cool. If you have medication or something that has to be kept at a refrigerated temperature, you're going to want to request a refrigerator from the special needs department, ideally 60 days or more before your cruise, to make sure that you have an actual refrigerator. But in this case, there's just a cooler drawer. So lots of great things in the staterooms. The split bathrooms are still there. They have a night light in the side that has the toilet so that you can leave that on at night and go in there and not have a bright light, but have something to be able to use the bathroom. So really great features in the staterooms. They're spacious. There's the curtain divider that separates the one side from the other, and they can sleep up to 5. So great staterooms on the Disney Cruise Line as always, but on the Wish now we have these special themes and some of these special features. So the second thing that is super exciting about the Disney Wish and is brand new rotational dining. So Disney Cruise Line, when they started, really revolutionized cruise lines with now having rotational dining. And so they have 3 different restaurants on the ship that you will rotate through. So instead of going to the same restaurant every night, you will go through 3 different restaurants. Our first reaction when we heard about this 25 years ago was, oh no, my server won't know me, won't know my favorite drink and know what I need. Oh no, because on Disney Cruise Line, your server will follow you. So although you go to a different restaurant every night, your serving team will be with you and be able to give you that personalized service, which is amazing. But now we have 3 new restaurants. So the first one I want to talk about is a restaurant called 1923. This is the year that the Walt Disney Company started. And so this restaurant is sophisticated and it's that 1920s era, and it kind of gives you that vibe. And there's lots of memorabilia and information in the restaurant that's really interesting. And you have a really sophisticated experience here. Really nice meal. It takes you back to 1923. The second restaurant that I want to talk about is Arendelle, a frozen dining adventure. This is something that's really new to Disney Cruise Line. So in the center of the restaurant, there's a stage. And throughout the meal, friends that we recognize will come and sing songs, and you'll hear Anna and Elsa and Anna and Elsa and Kristoff, because there's a story happening. You are part of the celebration of Anna and Kristoff's engagement. They're having an engagement party and you're there. And so you're part of this story and you're going to hear your favorite songs and see your favorite characters. And it's not really character dining in the sense that they're going to come and sign autographs and meet with each person. But it's more of a dining experience, or like dinner and a show, where you're part of this celebration and you're going to sing along with some of your favorite songs and have those funny moments and see the characters that you love. So this is all live entertainment during your meal. And the food, of course, is amazing. So the third location is a really completely different experience again. That is the Worlds of Marvel restaurant. In Worlds of Marvel, you're there to find out about some new technology that's being introduced, and surprise, it goes terribly wrong. And so now you have to help and work through some of these things. There's screens in the room and there's interactions, and you're going to help work through this as you're going through your meal. So now you get to be part of the World of Marvel. Maybe there'll be some people that visit during your time and be a part of this whole story. So again, a totally different experience with a totally new menu. So even if you've sailed Disney Cruise Line before, this is like a totally new rotational dining menus and locations and experiences. So that is super exciting on the Wish. The third thing is, while we're still talking about food, let's talk about the new adult dining locations. So these are specialty dining locations that you can add onto your cruise. There's a small cover charge or an a la carte price. And this is perfect for that special night out. It's 18 and older, and it's a really, really nice meal. And so we have 2 choices on the Disney Wish. The first one is Palo's Steakhouse. And you're saying, I've heard of Palo. Yes. So Palo is on many of the other ships, and it's like a Northern Italian restaurant. So you have those Northern Italian flavors. This is a little different. This is Palo's Steakhouse. So you still have some of those flavors that felt in the past, maybe some of those dishes that they had at regular Palo, but with Palo Steakhouse, there's more of a focus on the steakhouse aspect. So some new dishes and some new aspects there. So similar, but different. The second restaurant is a brand new concept and a completely brand new restaurant. It is called Ashante by Chef Arnaud Lallement. And so this is a brand new restaurant with a whole new menu. It is a really elevated experience. It is a long dining experience, several hours. I believe there's 8 courses, and it takes you slowly through your dining experience. This is fine dining. And so if that is something that you're interested in, if you're a foodie and if you like that really slow-paced meal with a lot of exquisite food, that is the restaurant that you're going to want to make a reservation for. And in between these two restaurants is a little lounge area called the Rose. And that is a great way to spend some time before or after dinner, enjoy some drinks and some cocktails, and have some time in between your meals. So that whole area up there is just a new idea, new restaurants, new menus, and a really great place to spend some time in the evening if you're wanting to spend some time with the adults in your family. All right, number 4. The fourth new thing about the Disney Wish is we have new shows. The entertainment on Disney Cruise Line is amazing. I mean, they're an entertainment company. They know entertainment. So we're talking about Broadway style, amazing entertainment. And this is a great opportunity too for your children to get to experience live theater and get an introduction to the arts that they can, in a way that they can take it in, because it's 30 minutes or 45 minutes. So it's a little bit of a shorter experience, and then they can go right back to those kids clubs or on to another activity. And so it's just the perfect way for them to introduce them to this live entertainment and the arts. But we have 2 new shows on this ship. And so the first one is Disney Seas the Adventure. And so on all cruises on the Disney Wish, this is the show the first night. And it is amazing. We saw it last night, and I just thought it was fantastic. So basically, we have Captain Minnie, who's in charge of the ship, gets a little help from Goofy. And you can only imagine what happens when Goofy becomes captain of the ship. And so we get to go to all different places than maybe we would have expected and meet old friends and new friends. And it's so fun to hear the stories and the songs that we're all familiar with. It's just a fantastic show. The kids in the audience were super excited. They would, as they saw different characters that they were familiar with, they would all squeal, it's Elsa, or it's whoever it is. So just such a great show. A great way to kick off your cruise. It's one of the shorter shows, it's 30 minutes. And so that's just a great way to get started, and everyone can go together. The second show, which is all new for the Disney Wish, is Disney Little Mermaid. So you might know the show, you might know the story, you might be familiar with the songs, but you've never seen it as a live show the way it is on the Disney Wish. And so, again, a great opportunity for the kids and for everyone to go together and see a show. If you are on a 4-night sailing, you will have another show. And that is going to be Aladdin. And that is from one of the other ships. So another great opportunity to see another show, but still something familiar. The nice thing about the shows on the Disney ships as well is that they're timed with your dinner. So if you have early dinner, you're going to go to your show after dinner. If you have late seating for dinner, you can go to your show before dinner. So everything's going to work together for you. You're not going to have to worry about missing those things. It's all going to work together with your dining schedule. All right, here we go. 5th thing. You've made it to thing number 5. So Disney is known for families. It's known for kids. So on all the ships, they have taken a good amount of space to make the Oceaneers Club and the Small World Nursery edge and vibe for all the kids in the family. From birth, well, they can't come when they're born, but the youngest age that they're allowed on a ship, all the way through 18. But they've done something a little different on this ship. In order to enter the Oceaneers Club, which is the group for ages 3 to 12, it is on the 2nd deck. You can go down the stairs and you can walk in the entrance and check in like every other ordinary person would. But you can also go to deck 3. You can check your child in, and then your child can go down the rabbit hole on a slide and slide their way right into the kids club. There's hand washing stations right at the bottom. They can get their hands washed and they can go on and play. I don't even know if I should talk about the hand washing or the slide. So the thing is, if you are an adult who is a kid at heart and you want to take the slide into the kids club, there is opportunity for you to do that. So when you board the ship on your very first day, the kids area in the Oceaneers Club is an open house from when you board around 12 o'clock up until 3:15. During that time, adults can take the slide down into the kids club. And let me tell you, I did it and it was fun. So I recommend that. There are other open house times throughout the sailing. If you look in your Navigator app, you will find open house. Whenever there's open house, it is open for parents and children to go and play together. And yes, adults can take the slide down. So that is highly recommended and you should totally do that. Now, washing your hands is an important part of any cruise, but what makes washing your hands super fantastic and great for kids is the amazing hand washing stations that they have on Disney Cruise Line in the kids clubs. So I call it a car wash for your hands. Basically, you put both your hands into the 2 slots and the machine does all the washing for you. It shoots water and soap and all the things on your hands. It runs for a complete cycle, and then you take your hands out and dry them and your hands are clean, which is perfect for kids who basically, when they wash their hands, put the soap on the hands, wash the soap off before they even make a bubble. So your kids will not only wash their hands before they go into the kids club, they will enjoy it and they will wash them long enough to keep them clean. So Disney hand washing stations are amazing. So once they head into the kids club, down the rabbit hole, down the slide, or they go in the traditional way, there are several different areas for them to play in. And so there's something really for all the ages between 3 and 12. And the nice thing about the Disney Oceaneers Club that I just love is that they don't separate kids by age. So your children can play together, whether they're 3 and 5 or 4 and 6. They don't have a cutoff between the age groups where your children wouldn't be able to play together. But you also don't have to worry because the cast members down there are fantastic, helping the kids get engaged in activities that are good for them. So they're not going to have the 10-year-olds bouncing around in an area that is meant for littler ones and bullying them or pushing them around. They're kind of encourage the kids to go to the areas that are going to be appropriate for them and that they're going to have fun. But yet siblings could be together and kind of have that safety net with each other. So super, super awesome way that they do their Oceaneers Club, which is not a surprise because it's Disney. So there's a couple different areas in there, so I want to tell you a little bit about all of them. So the youngest area, probably by what they would be interested in, is called the Captain's Deck. And so in the Captain's Deck, there's a lot of soft play areas. This is great for the younger kids. It looks like, like cruise themes, so there's all those types of things that go along with that. And that's right outside the Small World Nursery. So if the Small World Nursery needs a little more space, they might take over the Captain's Deck and keep the 3 and up kids out, or they'll let the 3-year-olds in and keep the Small World Nursery kids out. So they kind of have a little flex area there, which is nice. But it's just like a small play area that has lower areas that little ones can play on. Then next door to that is Fairy Tale Hall. Fairy Tale Hall has a couple of different areas. One area is like Belle's Library, and it has books and a little fireplace, and they can kind of sit in there and read or relax. There's another area that's very art themed that has an easel and a craft table and activities in there. And so that's kind of a nice place for kids that want to be creative, play dress up, watch a movie, read a book, and do something creative. That's a great area in Fairy Tale Hall. Across the hall from that is the Imagineering Lab. This is where things get super interesting. So in the Imagineering Lab, they're going to have a lot of STEM type activities where the kids can interact and do things. So this area can kind of look on the blank side with tables and benches, but that's because there's lots of areas where they're going to do planned activities with the kids. Right part of that Imagineering Lab is actually an activity where the kids can design a roller coaster and then ride it in a simulator. So that is a super fun activity there. So you kind of have all that interactive. I mean, Imagineering is an amazing thing to begin with. So the kids really get to explore that and play with that a little bit more. So that's super cool. So when they start heading down the hall the other way, they're going to continue on onto the Star Wars cargo bay. So, I mean, it's like you go in there and it's like, it's like now you're in Star Wars. It's like, well, how did I transition over here? But now I'm in the world of Star Wars. And so everything you can imagine in that area, it sounds like it, it looks like it, feels like it. I mean, you just immerse yourself in that. So all the activities in the cargo bay area are all related to Star Wars, whether it's on a computer screen or an activity or a physical thing or an activity that will be held in that area. It is Star Wars, and your little Star Wars fans are going to love it. If you go a little bit down the hall, you're going to hit the Marvel area. So it's called Superhero Academy. And again, this is another area all based on Marvel. And so the kids can use their wristbands to activate make a super suit kind of a thing and design their own superhero. There's other activities on the wall. again, very technology based, and generally this would attract the older kids, and because it's more of that technology and things like that. But there's Marvel Academy, there's going to be activities held in that area that are Marvel related as well. And so that is an amazing area that is on this ship. So Star Wars or Marvel, I don't know what team you're on, maybe on both, but it's really cool areas for the kids in the academy there. So, I mean, whether you have taken one Disney cruise, maybe you've never sailed before, or maybe you've been on a whole bunch, you haven't sailed a Disney cruise until you've sailed the Disney Wish. So you need to think about that as an option. So the Disney Wish is going out of Port Canaveral on 3 and 4 night Bahamians. Everyone is going to have a day at Nassau in the Bahamas. It's going to have a day at their private island, Castaway Cay. And then if it's a 4 night, it's also going to have a day at sea. So the 3 nights are all Friday to Monday, and then the 4 nights are Monday to Friday. And again, they leave out of Port Canaveral. And if you're looking for a 3 or a 4 night, and maybe you want to be on vacation a little longer than that, it is perfect to add on a stay at Disney World. You're going to fly into Orlando, do some days at Disney, come out on the ship and relax and have some family time and have a different Disney vacation and then head back. So it's a really great thing to do a land and sea option with that as well. So I told you I was going to tease a little bit about the ship that is coming next. So after the Disney Wish, the next ship is going to be called the Disney Treasure. This ship is going to be about the same size as the Disney Wish, is a sister ship. And this ship is going to also have a theme, but instead of it being enchantment, it is going to be adventure. So there is going to be a different look to the Disney Treasure with the concept of adventure. So we don't know a lot about it, but in some of the concept art we've seen so far, the main atrium Grand Hall is going to have 2 characters. Traditionally, every Disney ship has a character in the Grand Hall, a statue. This one's going to have 2. It's going to have Aladdin and Jasmine, and of course the genie's lamp, and they're going to be on their magic carpet, kind of looking like they're flying. And the colors are like those dark, rich colors of like the jungle, and the carpet has animals and different things like that from the jungle. So I think it's really going to have an amazing feel. And I don't know what the staterooms are going to be, if they're going to have all these decorations and different extenders like they do on the Wish, and what themes those adventure will bring. But I think that's going to be super exciting. So far, we know the Treasure will start sailing in 2024. And as we get closer, we'll start to know what part of the year that might be, and then eventually the initial inaugural sail date. But that is something to keep on your radar. And we don't know what port it'll be going out of. I would love to take some bets. I have some ideas of what I think it might be, but we'll see once they announce where it'll sail out of and the itineraries it will take on. But I'm super excited to see this concept continue with new restaurants and new themes. And I think it's going to be a really exciting way to continue with the Disney Cruise Line brand. So if you're thinking of a Disney cruise, especially if you're thinking about a land and sea and there's a lot of moving parts, we would love to help you with that. Lots of people love to Disney cruise in groups with cousins or grandparents or families. On average, a lot of people are sailing with 2 to 3 staterooms, and so we can help you find those connecting staterooms and work out those plans so you're eating together and make all those arrangements. So we'd love to help you with that. But bon voyage and hello and goodbye from the Disney Wish. And I can't wait to talk to you more about more destinations in another travel talk.